talk about outsourcing today. Outsourcing. How exciting. All right. Is everybody excited about outsourcing? What do we outsource? That's a good question. And I want to talk about outsourcing, but in an in-depth kind of, I want to start out overview a little, but we want to eventually, maybe over the next few weeks, turn this into some kind of more in-depth study along the way. All right. So you really feel really equipped, because has anybody in here ever been whooped by a VA? You ever been taken? You ever been hoodwinked? You ever been bamboozled? You know, you ever lost any money to a VA? Anybody? Victor says yes. Anybody else? Okay. Yeah, Mark. Yeah, pretty much everybody. Maybe you didn't lose a lot of money, but it didn't work out, you know. This VA stuff can be tricky. It can be tough. So what we want to do is we want to get more in depth so that you don't have those experiences. Possibly we could save you from those. Okay. Vernon says he has too. I think if anybody in here has ever experienced virtual assistants, especially without any real in-depth coaching along with it, I think they've been taken. It's an easy game to lose in if you're not, equipped and prepared, let's say. All right, so let's talk about making six figures, because that's really what I want everyone to focus on. If you're not making $100,000 a year, I want that to be your primary goal. If you're sitting here in this room today and you're saying Justin's been talking about goals and behaviors, and I've been busy and I haven't been thinking about it, and I haven't been able to nail it down because I want a boat and I also want a new car, but I also want to quit the job and I want to move out of this apartment, and okay, six figures. That answers that question for you, right? You need to get up into the $100,000 plus range, right? That's the answer to all of that. Okay, if you're making $125,000, $150,000 a year, you want a boat. Okay, you can get a boat if you want one. All right. So six figures, lease option, or the pretty house plan. Okay, you guys have probably heard me talk about some of this before. There's a few parts to the business, and let's discuss them real quickly. We start with big data. Okay, that's where the entire factory begins. We start with big data. Big data usually means public record. I do not mean that in this particular case. Big data can mean public record. Like you could go to PropStream, ListSource, some other big data source, and you could get a whole slew of big data. Yep. In fact, PropStream will give you 10,000 big data every month for their $97 a month fee. Not a bad deal. Okay. I use PropStream mostly for property valuations. Okay. Not big data. I use big data in a different way, and that is Zillow, right? Everybody knows I for sale by owner scrape Zillow and occasionally Craigslist. Okay. So I'm getting public record, but of a different kind. Okay, but it's all the same. I'm starting with big data. Okay, from the big data machine, we go into the second machine, which is the marketing machine, right? Marketing machine, what does it do? Anybody? What's the marketing machine do? What's its primary job? Yep. Create leads. Yep, that's its objective. Usually by sending a message of some kind. Right? It may be a cold caller that's sending the message. Hey, we buy houses. You got any for sale? It may be a text message. It may be a yellow letter. It may be something, but marketing machine creates leads by sending out some type of message. We have the perfect message set. Okay. I am not going to take credit for that, because I told you guys long ago that everything in this business is old. It's been used and reused, invented and reinvented stolen and then stolen again 1,000 times. Okay. You are never probably going to think up a new strategy that hasn't been thought up. There is nothing new under the sun. So says King Solomon. So, just embrace the fact that you're not going to be an inventor, right? I did not invent all of these texts. They are just simply great texts that I've stolen, borrowed, bought, used, and abused, and they work wonderful. Okay, they are the perfect set. So we have that. All right, so we have to send out that message, and that's partly what this marketing machine does here, is it sends out that message. So we're going to send a message out. The next thing we're going to do after that is what? Anybody got a guess? What's the next machine in our business? I know you guys know this, right? Sales machine. In this particular case, it's acquisitions. Am I right? So after we get a lead, see, we got a lead up here, right? We get leads. Now we got to have a sales machine, someone to call those, right? After we have somebody call those, if we're successful, we get contracts, right? Then what happens? Then we pass it off to a dispositions side, right? Which starts with what? Anyone want to guess? Ad building. One of the most dreadful aspects of the business. I hate ad building. By the way, if you hate ad building, you are not alone. You are not alone. I hate it. To me, it's just mundane, routine, silly stuff. Okay, so here what we have is ad building. We're building a property listing ad. Then what do? Pre-qualify tenant buyers. Okay. After that, we close up. And that is doing the final paperwork. That's doing the credit checks, etc. And that's also, right, making sure keys get exchanged, so on and so forth. Okay, does that make sense, everybody? Now that's pretty simple, right? We have an acquisitions machine right here in the top, the big data down here to the contract signed. That's one side of the business. The other side of the business, this disposition side. And there's just a few things that happen here. So there is only one real moving part here. And I'm not going to quiz everybody on what that is, but there's really only one moving part, and the rest of these tasks are relatively static. Relatively static, meaning they don't change much. They're the routine type tasks, static. There's only real one fluid or moving part in this machine. And that is finding and closing a motivated seller. Okay. So the real working part in this machine, in this factory here, is in this machine, the sales acquisitions machine, which is why Mr. Claude Diamond's been able to build quite an impressive coaching business just on that one topic, right? I'm a part of it because he's absolutely right. That is the part that we need to master, is because getting leads, could that be outsourced? let's just go through this and look real quick. Can I get big data real easy and outsourced, or is this something that's going to consume a lot of time? Anyone? I need feedback, guys and gals. Is big data a big time consumer for me? Is getting Zillow set up, scraped, or buying scrapes from scraping solutions, or getting on automated REI, or whatever I'm doing is, or going to PropStream and getting big data? Is that a big problem?
Yeah,
I'm going to say no, it's not.
Takes time.
Takes time.
Doesn't take too
Takes
long.
time.
Okay. Let me ask this question. Is this something that you can teach someone else to do? Can
Yeah.
you systematize big data in such a way that someone else can do this for you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, Coach Mark, because we talked about this the other day. But this whole scraping shit is just ridiculous as a easy piece of cake, really, if you really think about it, right? And you don't want me to let the cat out of the bag yet either, do you?
Your call, dude.
I can tell you, I just used that this morning and it took me 2 minutes.
Yeah. See, so big data, no big deal. If it's eating up your time and you can't figure out big data, send me a private message and I'll hook you up, okay? Because you're missing something, and I'm gonna cut right through all the bullshit for you and make it easy. I promise you that, okay? I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag though for Coach Mark, because Coach Mark's working on something. I don't want to let the air out of that balloon. Okay, so big data. I'm gonna put a big check mark here because we could totally simplify this down to almost nothing. Marketing machine sending the message. Now, in my case, I'm doing a text blast. Is this something that requires creativity? Is this something that requires me to be spending a lot of time? Anyone? What's your opinions? There's no right or wrong. We're talking opinions here, everybody. We're talking about your business, the pieces of it, right?
Set it and forget it.
I'd like to set it and forget it, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too. You know, because the way I have mine set up, you guys know I get leads every Thursday at 3:00, like clockwork, man, like a machine. It is a machine. It's a marketing machine, and it works just like that every Thursday at 3:00. It goes off, and then at 3:30, I've got leads. Oh, at 3:30 on Thursday, that means the sales machine needs. So this here, I'm gonna put a check mark there, because that there we could automate that, or just actually we could set it up where it costs us less than 30 minutes of our time if we wanted, really. But we could automate that. You know, we could outsource that, big data and the texting. The sales machine. What do we think about this? Can we outsource the sales machine getting contracts signed? Yes or no, anybody?
Yes, but it's difficult.
Yep. I would suggest, if you're going to outsource this, you outsource a pre-qualifier only. What do I mean by pre-qualifier? Somebody talk to me. Talk to me, baby. What's a pre-qualifier? I need to get somebody pre-qualified. What's a pre-qualifier?
Somebody
Going
who
through the
calls
framework.
and asks some basic questions, gets the information that they need, and ideally identifies some level of motivation for you.
Right. Let me pull something up here.
Sorry, Nick, didn't mean to step on your toes there, baby.
It's okay, but it's what you said, man.
Right on.
So outsourcing the pre-qualification part, you guys are both exactly right. I want to share screens in a different way here as soon as I get this pulled up. Where's my stop sharing button. Okay, stop sharing, and now let's share again. All right, here we go. Don't call me Sharon. Okay, this is the telephone script framework. You guys recall this? This is from the course. All right, here's the script framework. We start here at 1. Oh, wait a minute, where is it? There it is. I'm calling because I'm a landlord investor. I would like to talk about making an offer on your property today. Is that something we could do? What part of this conversation, this is the conversation we're having, we should be having, 1 through 17. If we have a pre-qualifier, what do they do? What numbers does a pre-qualifier do, or do they do something different? Do they do a script? Is my virtual assistant, that's going to be my pre-qualifier, is he going to do a script that's different than this one, or is he going to basically use this one? That's the question I have.
The one you provide.
He'll use the one I give him. You're right. But if I'm going to be having this conversation with the guy, my homeowner, it makes sense for my script or my framework here to match his script really, really closely. And so it's all intertwined together. So here's what I recommend. I recommend that you hire a pre-qualifier to do 1 through 8. 1 through 8. That's the pre-qualification realm right there. The pre-qualification realm is 1 through 8. 9 through 17 is closer territory. Are you guys getting me? Okay, 1 through 8 is pre-qualification territory. So let's just skim through 1 through 8 and just make sure we understand what 1 through 8 is. I'm calling because I'm a landlord. I'd like to talk about making an offer on your property today. Is that something we can do? Can I ask you a few questions? Okay, so here's what it's going to sound like when a virtual assistant does it. Hey, yeah, my name is Jivan. I'm calling because I'm a landlord investor. No, he wouldn't say that, would he? Sorry, I was thinking about Jivan, and I was like, man, Jivan sounds like a Filipino, and I'm going to later recommend a Canadian. So I was like, I just fucked up, and that's why I did that wrong. So sorry. Hi, I'm Jivan. I work with Justin. He's a landlord investor, and we'd like to talk to you about making an offer on your property today. Is that something we can do? Okay, now that makes sense. Right. Can I ask you a few questions relating to the property? You can ask me questions too. If my offer isn't a good fit for you at any time, will you just tell me no? Okay, great. How long have you lived in the house? Why are you selling? So on and so forth. Number 5, what's the property worth? Number 6, when are you wanting to do this? Number 7, who else needs to be involved in this decision-making process? Number 8, if I make an offer that fits you, is there any reason why we couldn't do business today? And done. Okay, Mr. Homeowner, that sounds great. I'm going to give this information to my boss, Justin, and as soon as he gets it, he'll review it and he'll call you back. Or what I like is as soon as my boss reviews this, he'll be in a position to make an offer like that today. So can we set an appointment for that conversation at 2:30? That is all they need to do. Now, you might be looking at that like a cow looking at a new gate, right? Like, I've had some VAs and they can't do that. That's why I'm talking about hiring a quality VA. See, and I think that's a big thing is you guys have heard me talk for 4 years now about having virtual assistants. And I've always said that they're from Canada. But then I also have been like, yeah, but you can get one for $3 an hour. And that is true. But let's be honest. There's a big damn difference between everything that's $3 and $10, including virtual assistants, right? The type of virtual assistant, the skill, the quality of work, the commitment, the loyalty. Okay, so you're going to want to outsource 1 through 8 in that particular conversation. So yeah, I think you can actually outsource a good bit of this part of the acquisitions right here. The pre-qualification is big. All right. And the reason why it's big is because you want to spend 80% of your time talking to motivated sellers. If you really, really, really want to make this a 6-figure machine, then spend all 80% of your time. 80% of it needs to be talking to motivated sellers. That's hard to do without a pre-qualifier. I'll just be real with you. It's hard to do. Even with the perfect message set that we have, okay? You'll probably, even with the perfect message set, you're probably spending half your time still talking to unmotivated people. Okay? If you want to make it right, where you're spending at least 80% of your time talking to the motivated ones, then you need a pre-qualifier. Okay? And I'm going to recommend that we go to Canada, and I'm going to show you how we do it here in a few minutes. Okay? We're going to do it. We're going to probably I want to do it right here in front of you, and we'll even interview a virtual assistant next week if I can set that up with the timing and everything with our session. I want to even interview some of these virtual assistants and show you what that's like. Okay, so you get some real hands-on experience of actually sitting in the room while I actually do this. Okay, yeah, Coach Victor, what you got?
Yeah, are you seeing about an average cost per hour of about $10 for the Canadians, or are you doing better than that, or right around that?
Yeah, well, what I find is that I want to talk about this here actually just in a minute. Is that cool?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Because I'm going to pull up Upwork and I want to show it and get right into that. Because let's just cut through the rest of this real quick. This is all outsourceable too. Okay, except for about half of this closing up stuff. So if you spent all your time talking to motivated sellers and motivated tenant buyers with cash in hand, your life would probably be a lot better. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So let's go through real quick here, and I want to list off some things. And then we're going to jump into Upwork, and we're going to start looking at finding virtual assistants. And then I'm going to, next week, hopefully we'll interview some together, and we'll just get into it a little deeper. We'll talk more about managing them as well. Okay. All right. Hopefully this recorded, because some of this is pretty decent information, I think. All right. Effective outsourcing here, right? Effective outsourcing is going to do a number of things for you. Number one, it's going to increase your business's efficiency or not. Okay, that is the facts. Outsourcing is going to help you relieve your sense of burnout. Okay, am I right? You got a sense of burnout? Yeah, maybe bring a little fresh blood into the mix. Okay. Outsourcing it is going to boost your confidence if you hire the right one. Am I talking right? Am I talking right, Coach Nick?
Absolutely. That's exactly what's happening this week. Got a guy before the end of the year. He's an American, and I've been training him on the framework, and within 2 weeks of just him focusing 1 through 8, he's solid. He's great. We've role played. He actually made a cold call today on one lead we picked out on Zillow to do a live trial call, and he got pretty damn close. Just doing a cold call, just following the script. So yeah, I mean, it's helped a lot for, because I was getting burnt out towards the end of it. And this is going to help me, not get burnt out from, the amount of leads I'm going to go after from here on out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you feel confident because this cat's skilled.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I'm trying to get him to 80% me. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. See, if you can't get them to 80% me right away, it's the wrong guy or gal. That's the rule, everybody. Remember that. If they're not okay. See, when you hire a $3 an hour Filipino, they're great at administrative tasks that do not require phone skills. Some of them may be great on the phone. I'm not trying to put them all into one bucket. I'm just saying a lot of them aren't that great on the phone. They're collecting $5 an hour out of you or less. And they're not 80% as good as what you'd be if you were doing it. If they're not 80% as good as what you do, then don't hire them. That's kind of the standard you need to keep in mind. So that's kind of what he's talking about there. Okay, effective outsourcing is going to help you reduce errors in your business. Okay. If you don't know how to spell, find you a virtual assistant that does. That's really what that means. Right? You can find you a virtual assistant that knows how to put an ad together. Okay. If you struggle with that stuff, hey, you're not alone. A lot of people do. Okay. Here's the thing. Effective outsourcing will help you become more mature in business. I like that one.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I wanted, because I probably missed it, but at what point in your business do you suggest that one should outsource?
As soon as you can afford it. Yep. So that might mean 1 deal, 2 deals, but you know you'll have to manage the money because that's $400 a month. That's a car payment. You know, and you'll want to keep them. You'll want to know that you're not sweating that money the whole time. You know.
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense.
Yeah. See, the worst thing to me is when folks go and hire a virtual assistant and they're like, oh yeah, you know, we're going to do great things. And then they only have enough money to get through the first 2 weeks. And then after the first 2 weeks, they're like, well, he didn't make any money with me and I got to let him go. Dude, what would you think if somebody did that to you? Hey, we're going to do some great shit until I run out of money in about a week and a half. That's horrible, man. You know what I mean? All right. So sorry to get off on that, but all right. Sometimes we just need to come up in our game. You know, this is not a, I hate to say this because I was taught this way too. Okay. But we got a lot of scam ass shit in us. Some of us do. We got to turn loose of this scam ass shit and just play it straight. Okay. I don't know who that's for, but that's, eat the chicken, spit out the bones. Coach Nick, what you got, bro? What you got?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I felt confident going into getting the VA, because this would be my second one. The first one, learned my lesson big time on the first one, is if you can't feel like you've mastered a certain part of the factory, you're not ready for a VA at that point for that particular step. If you've mastered the part of like setting your leads and you know where to get them, that's something you can easily outsource. Go for it. But if it's expecting to turn the guy into a phone ninja when you're not there yet, you're gonna have a very difficult time. So they're, getting him trained on that is what I would recommend, is, making sure that you're 100% on this particular topic, because if you're expecting him to do the heavy lifting on it, you have to, you can't expect him to do something that you cannot do yourself. In other words, is what I'm trying to say.
That's absolutely true. Bringing on a virtual assistant will decrease your workload. Okay. I did not say bringing on a virtual assistant will prevent you from having to do any work. I didn't say that. I said bringing on a virtual assistant will help you decrease your workload. But you're still working.
If you hire correctly, right?
Right. Okay. So I'm just trying to get the paradigm straight a little bit before we dive in here to an ad, looking and talking to somebody. We need to be prepared a little bit before we get into talking to one. And I want to talk to one in front of everybody. So, you know what? It'll help you be a better team player. If you're not a team player, you're not going to be a very good working with a virtual assistant because that's a team. All right. It will also, virtual assistants, bringing them in will help you improve your morale. It's exciting when you hire good, skilled people, isn't it? I mean, Coach Nick, Coach Victor, you actually hire somebody that knows what the hell they're doing and they're going to be good. That's exciting, man. It's reinvigorating my enthusiasm for the business. Okay. It's a good benefit. All right. It will alleviate stress. Here's another thing it will do. It will help ensure that your results are consistent and successful. If you do it right. If you do it right. Okay. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to do it right. We're going to talk about all this. It's probably going to be three sessions in this, 3 weeks. Okay. It will allow you and if you have other team members or partners, you and your partners to get more done on time. Right? In short, it's going to help change your life. And so I want you to think about building out like this as soon as you can afford to. Okay. But what I recommend you do first is I recommend the first virtual assistant you hire be a virtual assistant that works on this side of the business for you, the acquisition side. Okay. This is going to be the first one. And I'm going to recommend that you get big data and you whip its ass. And I can tell you how to whip its ass in 2 minutes. If you're struggling with big data. Okay. And then have that same virtual assistant use that big data to send out their message. And when they get responses, you want them to pre-qualify those leads. When they pre-qualify those leads, they are literally talented enough to do 1 through 8 on the telephone script framework. 1 through 8. This is from the course too, everybody, by the way. Okay. Now, when you pick up the phone and you call them back at 2:30 because they set an appointment for you, you're going to pick up at 9. Mr. Homeowner, my name is Justin. Jivan talked to you earlier today. He told me all about your property and what you guys talked about, and I'm very excited to make an offer to you today. How are you? Good. Have you had any other offers besides mine today? I'm right back into the script framework. Okay. You see how that works, everybody? Is that about as clear as mud? Or is it crystal?
Crystal.
Okay. So that's how you outsource the pre-qualifier part. That's not going to be very hard to do if we look at it now. I want to look at it a little deeper here, and then we're going to do some big thing here on Upwork, and then I'm going to set us up for next week. Okay, so the first thing we want to do here is we want to take a look at this ad. Okay, it says Operations Manager Craigslist ad, but I'm telling you, you can use this anywhere, not just Craigslist. Although Craigslist is not a bad place, okay? Here's what it says. Locally based nationwide real estate investment biz seeking sharp mind. We are looking for, in the body, we are looking for responsible person with sales experience to become a member of our fast growing nationwide real estate investing business. Responsibilities include receiving inbound sales calls. You guys seeing this? I am sharing screen, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Screening buyer, seller leads daily. Okay. Running comparable sales. Coordination with closing attorney. You know what? You don't even need them to do half of this stuff. But wouldn't it be nice if they were skilled enough and intelligent enough to at least understand what that means? Wouldn't that be cool? Okay. Requirements include being reliable, responsible, great attention to detail, phenomenal work ethic, excited for the opportunity for commission and performance-based pay and compensation. Okay. Now, they're not going to be excited about that. Okay. Now, I'm going to give this to you, and you guys can totally use this as a template. Okay. Let's see here. Let me put it in the chat. Use this as a template, as an ad. A job posting is what we call these type ads, a job posting. Okay. So we're going to use this to build a job posting. And we're going to find us somebody that's going to work for pre-qualifying some of these leads. Because ultimately what I would like to see is, I would like to see you as the investor owner of this business. I would like to see you get this process so simplified in your mind that big data is no longer a question. Okay. You have a virtual assistant that can totally work the lead gen text message blast thing. And then when the leads come back, work those in pre-qualifier mode 1 through 8. Okay. Pass off to you the good ones. Now, really all you're doing is monitoring the machine. You're the foreman of the factory, and you are the pinch hitter, right? You're designated hitter. You're going to come up when we got something cooking. Okay. That's it. 80% of your time needs to be invested in that activity, that behavior. Okay. If you want the 6-figure business, 6-figure lifestyle on part-time kind of commitment, this is the way. Outsourcing 1 through 8, and you are available to manage that and to be the closer. I have some people ask me occasionally, Justin, can I outsource this entire closing thing and just let somebody get deals under contract for me? And the answer to that is not really. If you want me to just be honest about it, not really. Okay. Think about it. There's so much education out there. There's so much free contracts, free agreements, everything. If they can do the closing and they're going to do the closing for you, why do they need you? Okay. So you want to find somebody that can do 1 through 8. And that's all they're going to do is 1 through 8. You're never going to let them step into 9, 10, 11, 12, up to 17. That's not your area. Now, your job as the business owner is to become a master of managing that process and be a master of 9 through 17. That's it. If you can become a master of 9 through 17 on the call script framework, you can outsource the rest of this business. All the way to the bloody end, picking up a check. Yep. So, anybody got any thoughts or questions on this so far? Am I boring you to death or anything? Or am I just kind of not hitting it deep enough for you? All right. Anybody?
It's absolutely great stuff, man, because it's I can say it's living testament to what you're saying is exactly true. Finding one. The only other kind of advice I could give on this is, they might be expensive, $10 an hour, but for one, the get what you pay for is absolutely paramount in getting a VA. But number one, if your campaigns, if you're calling your leads, like let's say if you're with for example, Mark and Coach Ed, and you're calling your leads from 10:30 to 12, you only need a VA to screen those calls that are going on, because you can call the ones that are qualified after that. So you really only need them for 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe even, an hour, depending on what you can afford, and find that out to where that fits in your schedule. but it's once you have your processes down, it's a lot easier to figure out how you can work with the quality VA that you can hire.
Oh yeah, you got to make it simple. That's step number one. If we were going to mark these out, and we're going to next time we get together, we're going to mark these out in steps. But step number one is just getting ready, right? If you're not ready and you hire a virtual assistant, you are going to pay for a lesson in your inefficiencies, and it's going to be a paid lesson. Okay. If you don't have your preparation ready to go, if you're not prepared and you get into talking and hiring a virtual assistant, they are not going to know what to do because you don't know how to make it plain and simple. Has to be crystal clear. We're going to talk more about this management stuff as we get on into this, but let me share screens real quick because we need to wrap up today here pretty quickly. We're going a little longer than an hour. Let me share screens with you. I am at upwork.com. Upwork.com. I'm going to log in. Okay, so you can create an account here. Just create an account. It's free. And I'm going to sign in here to mine using my email. All right. Here we are. We're on the inside. And you can see it's pretty simple. Jobs, talent, reports, and messages. Well, I don't have any messages yet because I ain't been talking to anybody. Don't have any financials. I ain't been paying anybody. And I need to find some talent, right? I'm looking for talent. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to discover here. Let's just discover something. See what happens. All right. And it's just going to pop up a few things it thinks I might be interested in. But here's what I really want to do. I want to come up here to the search bar and I want to pick talent. And then I'm going to type in something like this. Appointment setter. That sounds like dead on accurate what I want, just about. If I want to go US only, I can just easily slide this and just look at United States virtual assistants, and you can see what they are priced at: $20, $44 an hour, $35 an hour, $37, $27, $45, $30, $50, set hut hike. Okay. So pretty expensive in the United States. All right. So I can do an advanced search here, and I can, okay, I'm just going to add some other words and see if I find anything extra here. I'm just kind of rooting around, kind of like you do Craigslist. Okay. All right. So here it pulls up a bunch of things. Now, because I'm not just US only, look, I got Philippines, 15, 20, 10, 10, 7, 10. What in the hell happened to the Philippines? I thought they were $1 or $2 or $3 an hour. These people are wanting $7.50, $10, $20 an hour. Yeah, they're getting smart. Unfortunately, we are getting dumb. They're getting smart. Right now, well, this is kind of getting out of my price range here. Okay. Some of these Philippines are getting out of my price range already. All right, so let's go down here, make sure we're gonna do the Craigslist thing. We're gonna make sure we filter our search good over here on the left. Hourly rate, 10 and below, 10 to 30, 30 to 60, 60 and above. See, we're always tempted to go 10 and below. 10 and below. I recommend going 10 to 30. That's what I recommend. 10 to 30. Yep. How about this? Any of these others? Hours billed. Yeah, we might want them to have some experience, but yeah, I'm going to find that later. Okay. So I think we're good here. Locations. This is important. Canada. Okay. What about United States? Hey, we're in a pandemic of work from home, right? Everybody in the whole country wants to work from home. Well, put United States down there. What about this? What about Jamaica? Jamaica, great place to go for virtual assistants. Some of these Caribbean places, awesome places to go. Now let's look what we're coming up with
How
here.
about Mexico and like Central America? Because I understand they got some really good ones too, or you haven't had any real.
Yeah, I haven't had any success with it.
Got it. Okay.
But let me be more clear about that. And that is because the individual that I ended up working with was from Brazil. Okay. And in Brazil, they don't speak Spanish, they speak Portuguese. And I found that still created a bit of a speech difference when it came to the phone. Although at times she sounded American, at other times I wasn't sure what she was saying. And so I was fooled by her at first, but then I figured out what was going on. So I can't personally recommend South America from my experience. However, with that being said, I do believe that there are great South America and Central American virtual assistants. I just haven't had any experience to talk about. The moral of the story that I'm trying to get across here is try to stay Western Hemisphere. So let's do that, because if we stay Western Hemisphere, we're still talking about Mexico. Okay, we're still talking about a lot of other countries. So let's just throw Mexico in there just for, to look. Okay, so here's our filters we have. Freelancers, here's some various locations: Canadian, Mexican, American, Jamaican. Okay. So let's just scroll down and see what's pulled up here. Jamaican, $15 an hour. United States, 20. United States, 27. United States, 25. 20. 15. 25. 16. 15.
I always, real quick, man, and this is just me, but I always click something in the English level myself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Let's do that. Let's do native or bilingual. Okay.
That's just my flow. I mean,
No,
'cause
I like it, dude. I normally do too. I just skipped it because I'm under the lights and the camera here, and you guys are watching me. All right. So anyway, and it's been a while since I've done this, to be honest. Okay. So here we are looking at what pulled up there with the these are definitely now supposed to be native language speakers. Okay, so native English. Okay, they grew up speaking it. Jamaican 15, United States 27, United States 20, 25, Jamaica 16, 15, Jamaica 25, 12, Jamaica. Okay, $22.50, $19 an hour. Some of these are kind of pricey. $12 from Mexico, 25, 16.75, 14 United States. Okay. Here's an American for 14. Jamaica 15. All right. Long story short, we could scroll for another hour, but here's what I think you need to learn from this. The price that they have on Upwork is not the price you're going to be paying them. Okay? This is not like, hey, I named my price and that's it. No, this is like going to the damn garage sale of workers. Well, this guy here in Jamaica, let me give you this example. This is a perfect one. It's pulled right up when I stopped sharing. John M., your professional virtual assistant, $15 an hour. He's made $7,000 on Upwork with 100% success rate. He is a trained acquisitions manager, a lead generator, and expert appointment setter. He writes one hell of a resume too, by the way. Right? $15 an hour. My bet is if I were to invite this man to work for me, I could talk to him about working for $10 an hour plus a $500 bonus when we're successful. Okay? You guys are looking like, hey, $10 an hour is a lot of money. Yeah, well, we're talking about like what? 5 hours a week? You know? 5 hours a week, $50 a week. That's $200 a month to what? Be a success? Yeah, probably. You know, to have somebody that's really, really great at this. Okay, now I don't know if he's great at this or not. I have no idea. All right, but it's looking good. And I'm not going to be scared at the 15 because I know I can probably get him for 10. He's not dumb either. He's saying 15 because that's like that's the top of what he expects. All right. I might work a deal with him. You know, hey, how about, you know, you don't want to do $10 an hour? Okay, I'll do $12 an hour with a $300 bonus when we're successful. Okay. You see what I'm doing there? I'm just trying to figure out what to do. I only need you for 5 hours a week, dude. I mean, I'm not going to spend $1,000 a week on you. I only need you for 5 hours, you know? Now that's it. All right. So is this enlightening to you? If you're on the outside looking in, you've never experienced some of this. When you go there, it's if you don't have somebody with you talking you through this, you're kind of discouraged. You're like, oh shit, $14, $15, $25 an hour. Yeah. Let me tell you what, this lady right here, look at her. This is an older white lady from the United States that wants $25 an hour, but is only pleasing to her masters 2/3 of the time.
Look at the one above John. That's even funnier.
Yeah. Do not send me any commission-based jobs. And she's only pleased her master 1/3 of the time. Right? 1/3 of the time. So you can see here, John M is shining like a diamond, you know, shining bright, just looking good. I want to maybe invite him to my job. There's a big button there where I can do that. But I don't have any jobs because I have to come up here first and I have to go to jobs and then slide down and click post a job. Okay. Now it asks me to fill in the blanks, write your headline. Okay. We're going to do all that. Not today. When I'll probably do this while we're away so that I can have some virtual assistants lined up to talk to next week. I really want to do that. I hope I can make that happen. And we'll actually interview some for the job. We'll actually interview some and we'll act like they're working for all of us. What do y'all think of that? I'm going to get them in here. I'm like, hey, we're interviewing you for, hey, we're all in one big company together. And, you know, everybody's going to vote on you. So you better sparkle and shine, you know. I don't know, but we're going to try to expose you to the details of hiring and managing a great virtual assistant, okay? And so we're going to get into that. But go ahead this week, if you're inclined to, and take that ad I put in the chat room here in Zoom. I put the template for the ad. That's the job posting. Go ahead, create your Upwork account, log in, and create a job posting. Okay.
Get us some barbecue, Ma?
I don't know. I want some barbecue now, Ed. Hey, you know, create that job posting because what'll happen is there will be some virtual assistants that reach out and apply. They'll apply. Okay. And you may find the one you're looking for is chasing you. Okay. Did you chase that guy, Coach Nick, that you just hired from Chicago, Canada, Chicago? He's kind of a hybrid.
Yeah, he's been, yeah, his Upwork was Canada. He lives in the States now. No, I didn't invite him. I put the ad out there. I let it sit for a couple of days, and then I had a number of people. But you start reading through the ones that seem like good candidates, and he sent me 2 messages, one the day of and then the one the day after. So I was like, okay, and his resume seemed great. So I was like, okay, and he's worked out really good so far.
Yeah.
Worked out really well.
Good.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, there's a big difference in working with real quality Western Hemisphere. I'm not saying the Philippines and the other places are not quality. It's just they're not designed to do your acquisitions for you over the phone, most of them.
Right.
But they are awesome at what they are awesome at, which is a lot of times, your administrative details, ad building, email blasting to cash buyers, and running the scraper and the texter, the stuff like that. They wonderful. Okay, here's the last gold nugget for you for today. And then next week we're going to jump back into this. Hopefully you're getting something out of this. All right, here's what we're going to do. Once you get your virtual assistant hired, hire a really, really good one. Don't hire a crappy one. That's the first advice. Hire a really good one. Just like I showed you what we were talking about right there. A guy like John M. Hire a good one for $10 an hour. 5-6 hours a week, whatever you can afford. Okay? Have him doing pre-qualifications. When you are successful and are growing, hire that man his own virtual assistant, and this time get that one from the Philippines or somewhere and pay $3 to $5 an hour. That's what I did. Okay? That's what I did. So I don't have 2 virtual assistants. I have one, and he has one. That's real nice for me. Real nice for me. Okay? So it's kind of like, putting a little extra management on him, but he gets the assistance and the help. So now my acquisitions master, the 1 through 8 guy, he doesn't have to worry about the scraping and the texting. He doesn't have to worry about the contracts and the, updating the CRM so much and so on and so forth. Finding pictures and blah, blah, and this and what have you. It's a blessing. So that's how you want to start building out. Hire a good one. That is the keystone. After that, you want to get another virtual assistant. Great. Get him one. Okay. And that virtual assistant might assist you with the dispositions part. I don't know. We'll talk about that later. Okay. So we'll get into this, all more details about this over the next couple weeks. And any questions though that we have today? Anything before we wrap up? We've been going an hour and a half, and that's just about as maximum. Our brains are going to melt if we go any longer. So, anything else, guys and gals? Anything? Comments? Questions? I don't want you to go away like, well, he said this, but I don't really understand. Okay, so anybody?